Evening, gentlemen. Who is interested in recapping last session for inspiration?
Two, one. Okay.
I was about to say, you're the
We
bank.
started off with a meeting in the garden to discuss the contract potential with Captain Zendros to go get the artifact. This was quickly sort of put on the side, or put on the back burner rather, as we discussed the deal that Krellick had made with, as he put it, the Batman, who
God damn it! I forgot about Batman. Oh shit!
who turned out to be a Cambion by, oh god, Grost's son. I forget the Cambion's name already. I don't even know if I wrote it down. Sorry,
Eos.
Krellick. Oh yeah, Eos.
Eos.
Da 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 da. Uh, Given that Zendros works at a temple to Eos. So to try to find a solution to get Krellick's ability to grow back, we went and had two conversations. One with Liru, who offered to trade some of her remaining time to Eos to get Krellick's ability to grow back, to get it out of the hands of the Cambion mostly. And then we spoke to Zendros, who made it clear that to even arrange a meeting, um, she would want 5,000 gold pieces, or somewhere between 6 months and 3 years of service. We sort of left without any definitive deal reached on anything at all, and then split up a bit. Yop and Zashel went back to Liru, who was setting up tea. Punketta had given us a bunch of the research that they had done into Eos and his domain and his relationship to his father Grast, which is apparently not great. So a plan was floated by Krellick to make a deal with Grazd and basically ground Eos, but jury's still out on that one. So there was a further discussion
That's
where
charitable.
both Yop and Zashel sort of relayed the idea that Liru's plan to trade remaining time was not a great one. Liru made it clear that the work that she and Zashel have been doing is largely almost complete. There is one knot left, as Liru described it, although in retrospect, I'm not positive if that is a threat to the plan or somebody that needs to be incorporated into the plan. Given that I believe Liru made a comment about the knot fading, I believe it's somebody that needs to get wrapped up, and it is getting more and more difficult to do that, or needs to be joined into the alliance, rather. We went back to the casino where, while we had been out, Krellick had had the full realization that during the conversation with Zendros, she had let slip, not really let slip, she had said to Krellick things that she had no way of knowing, including specifically his using the mouse ring to try to get into the light floor of the lighthouse, which was and trying and failing. But there was no way she could have known that, given that no one was around when Krellick attempted to do that, or no one was awake or witness. And so Noel did some quick arcane checking with some detect magic and realized that the magic items that we have purchased from or ever given to Zendros to have worked on or enchanted have all been bugged, essentially. They are magically bugged for scrying. And so a few of them were released, they were dispelled and given back. And I believe the instruction for Krellick was to take Krellick's Wand of Prestidigitation, which was a gift from Bakaris, but purchased from Zendros, and to go have a party. So Krellick was left drinking and gambling and having a good time at the casino. I say left like we all have left and gone somewhere. We have not, but that was the end of the thing.
Most of us think we're headed back to the lighthouse, at least in the immediate.
Yep.
Okay. Then the lot of you can certainly do that. And what would you like to do upon your return to the lighthouse?
I still don't know. I know. Yeah, I have my list. Good.
Welcome.
Welcome. Because as my notes, Hop's good, Lauren's good, I'm good. I think Zashel is. Zashel, you have.
You had cleared the ear cuff, which is
Got
the
it,
only
okay.
thing I had from Zendros.
Yeah, so the major issue currently is the Ring of Swimming, Wand of Prestidigitation. I can't fix the Headband of Intellect, and anything Vicaris might be holding,
Yep.
which is potentially a lot.
Yeah, and that's actually perfect timing on Doug's part, because I think the first thing we would do when we get back to the lighthouse is go find Vicaris. Because this is, this has been an issue for us recently. Rather, this has been the issue we have been resolving recently.
Mm-hmm.
You with us, Doug?
I sure am.
Ooh,
Yeah,
you
trying
sound
to-
so crisp. Love this.
Oh, wait, and go away.
No, yes,
Yep.
your audio
Yeah.
is fabulous.
Oh, nice. I'm just logging in right now to kind of like look over my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't, off the top of my head, I don't believe I've really gotten anything from her. I just remember buying the wand for Krellick.
This
But
also
I'm gonna.
includes any permanent spell casting things, like
Like a certain Wand of the War Mage.
yeah.
Oh, did I buy that?
I don't recall. I'm just something to think about, because I remember there being two
Yeah.
at one point, and I don't remember the exact context of one of them. I know one of them was Yops.
Yeah.
I have a wand. Krellick has a wand of the War Mage, but
Yes.
I think that one's clear.
I'm pretty sure that was mine, but I don't remember getting it from. I actually think we should default to that I got it from Zendros, because it's definitely something I would have bought from her. And let me just look at my items.
I think I looted that wand of the War Mage. Like, I think there was loot and nobody wanted it, and I took it, so it didn't just get trashed.
As I recall, somebody was using the wand of the War Mage. Got
I was
something
using it-
else. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. That was definitely
Yeah.
me.
Any
Because you went
spell-
from the wand to the loot, right?
Yes. And the reason I didn't take the other one when we found it is because I already had a wand of the War Mage, so
Yep.
there was no reason to take it.
any bags of holding or
Nope, that one came with my job.
Okay, essentially any spell casting thing as a part of a spell which is not used when it, when the spell is used, is probably also laced. I don't have any of those though.
Do we remember where we got the flicker light studded leather?
Tower of Xenopus.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I am good. I'm not.
And with the eel
Where-
sword.
Ooh, let me look at our horde.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking through. The bags of holding, I don't know where those came from.
Just for clarity's sake, so are we considering the wand of the War Mage that is in Krellick's possession potentially tainted?
If so, then I probably
No, I
have it
would-
already.
The one that you found wouldn't have been tainted. The one that I had would have been.
Well, the one that Krellick has is the one that you had.
Was it? Oh, I thought he said
Yeah.
he found one.
I thought we found one because Vicaris, you gave me a gift, which was the Prestidigitation wand, And
Yeah.
that was the only time you gave me a wand, if I'm remembering. That's in my memory. That's correct. This wand, I feel like we got it from like, was it in Nightshade's place or one of the Hag's places? I feel like it's Hag loot.
It
I-
might have been.
Don't recall that.
I know the one that you had, Krellick, is the one that Doug was using because I very specifically remember like everybody was trying to figure out who it would go to, but like Zashel had the gloves and eventually you were like you were going to take it even though you weren't going to attune to it or anything.
Yeah, I'm not attuned
Because
to
I
it.
very specifically remember that part of it.
Yeah, I took it
but
because
that
it was
was-
the wand.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was the one that Doug was using when he got the
The extra
whatever.
thing. Okay, let's consider that then because that was an unknown, right? We didn't know that. Let's say that we consider it tainted and Noel has it to make
Yeah,
it.
it would have been something you
just to be-
gave me.
Yeah, because we would have laid out everything, and I think maybe we weren't exactly clear on where that item came from on it. Okay, I'm gonna uncheck that from my inventory. Sorry, I've interrupted.
No problem.
You're
And
fine.
yeah, unfortunately,
Wait.
it wasn't
Everybody's good.
Sorry, what item?
Oh,
Whatever.
an errant
Yeah.
wand of the War Mage.
the
I
only
think that's
true
Zendros.
item casualty is probably going to be the headband of intellect because I'm not that good.
Okay. So, everyone except Krellick and Lucky are at the lighthouse. Vicaris has been retrieved and has taken stock of everything in the possession of Acquisitions Incorporated that may have been affected in some way by Zendros. What now?
BT dubs definitely missed last session. What's going on with Zendros' stuff?
Oh yeah, why don't you in character explain to Vicaris what's going on? Because I would love to see that done in character.
You know that Noel's going to sign. You know the sign, correct?
I think, right? We're talking about what's her face's language.
The thieves
yeah.
can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Noel, if you will just give me time, I think this is easier than
Yeah, Noel shrugged.
it's far faster and easier to just
Spend 10 minutes ritually
Mhm.
casting.
exactly yes.
I mean, you're not technically wrong.
It's 10 minutes up front for an hour of psychic communication or the the hand language. So
During this 10 minutes, Yop is just thinking very loudly. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Mic tap. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
all right, if this is set, you can all
I can
hear these
summarize.
thoughts.
Oh my god, you're not gonna believe it.
Okay. In order. Krellick came to me and expressed a concern. The concern being that Zendros had knowledge that she could not have had. Very specific knowledge. Initially, I assumed that meant we had a spy here. A physical spy. Which is still possible, but on a whim, I checked the items Krellick had purchased or received from Zendros. Underneath the main enchantment was divination magic. Consistently on every item Krellick had from Zendros, and every item every other member had from Zendros. The same enchantment, low level. Sneaky. Just watching Vikaris for his response.
You see kind of a perplexed look that kind of hints at like, go on.
We, or rather you, all, and myself, in more recent times, have
We,
been,
but not I, but also I.
have been spied upon by Zendros since the first item you bought from her. She has been capable of watching you and listening. Perhaps more, but I do not know. I was able to remove this enchantment from some of the items, and there are some that remain. The good news is that what I was able to remove was of a lower level, which means the information from a sensory standpoint may be limited. But there may
Do we know
be...
for what purpose?
No.
No, I think it's reasonable to assume then that she knows that we know, right?
Potentially, yes. We have been careful, but perhaps not careful enough.
I
In
mean, if
either
you dispel it, it's no longer hiss, then she would know. Then we're on to her.
This is true.
Sorry, here, see, whatever she was using to spy on us.
On that matter, I would request that Yop look into one of these items further. My understanding of this is blunt and broader. I'm good at the breaking of such things, but not the making.
Certainly, I'll take a look. What did you have in mind?
I do not know for sure. It is a magical enchantment of some kind.
Okay, well, hopefully now that I know what I'm looking for, I'll be able to make quick work of it.
Be wary of traps. It is possible in the dispelling I dispelled a potential for trapping. I can't know for sure. On the matter of what Zendros has done with these items, or the information gained, at the very least, she has manipulated Krellik, although it is impossible to know how much of that was with information gathered from these items.
Well, I'm a bit confused, Noel. What exactly do you want me to be careful of? You think she somehow has the ability to trap us with these items as well as spy on us?
Not to trap us, per se, but magical countermeasures.
Well, only one way to find out.
I will come to your laboratory afterwards with the ring.
Wonderful, and then we'll start our tests.
I will be present if that is alright with you.
Oh no, it's probably a wise idea.
Noel's eyes are going to like swivel back to Vikaris. Do you have questions?
Not for you. But
Fair
I do
enough.
have questions.
Beyond the fixing of the problem and understanding how it happened, I do not have answers for what to do next.
Yeah, I think my concern right now is why.
It is not unreasonable to assume that she has done similar things with the other denizens of, well, I suppose this entire area. Anybody she has done business with.
I think it's
May not
reasonable.
It may not be specific to us, but we have been compromised all the same.
I wonder if there's a way to test that theory, because I think it'd be a little. Oh, I can't think of the word, but it'd be foolish for us to assume that it was only about us. I don't think she specifically, or whoever she works for, specifically has anything against us. So I wonder if we could potentially locate something she sold to someone else and test it the same way we did before with our equipment.
Yeah, Noel will like shrug and kind of like give like a half nod. Yes, that is. If you know of someone who fits that criteria.
Can I ask a potentially dumb question?
Mm-hmm.
Why exactly do we care? I mean, I don't want to be spied on, but it seems like that problem has sort of been resolved. We know we have to dispel these items, and we probably shouldn't buy any more from Captain Zendros. But beyond that, why don't we have enough things to investigate? How to?
I mean, if it depends on the purpose. If it's something that she really needs, then she won't stop at just what we took from her. She'll continue to try and spy on us. But if it's just a regular, this is what she does for everybody else, then we do have no need for concern. But like I said, it depends on her motives.
This is true, and perhaps we can give it some thought, but my primary concern, yes, is removing the present problem and perhaps, at the most, discerning what form of information she gathered from this. Beyond that, it is really a question of whether we take a contract from such a person.
Well, let's get to work with what we can affect this evening, and that will allow us time to consider the larger questions.
Noel will probably nod and look to Zashel. Assuming Zashel is here.
I did not think I was after I cast the thing, because you were doing the rundown, but I guess I don't really have anyone else to be, so.
Mm-hmm. What's the problem?
No problem. We will resolve this, I suppose, then give thought to what we do next.
Fair. If we wish to come up with the funds for the meeting for Krellick, we will need to take a contract somewhere. We also have the issue with Anders Solner that we can look into in the meantime while we look for other work. I don't know that there is much we can do fundamentally with the information that we have. What we know and what we can prove are not quite the same, unfortunately. And the services that Zendros provides to not just Saltmarsh, but to us in the form of spell components, the components for Lucky's travel ritual, and a wide variety of other things are all things that we are going to need. And those, at least, seem to be largely clean, you have said. So,
To my knowledge, yes, but my knowledge is limited.
well,
It is not a foolish risk, but it is a risk nonetheless.
as long as they are carried safely in an extra-dimensional space, like the bag of holding, until they are needed, at which point they will be consumed, I think largely we will end up with it not being much of an issue for material components. It will remain an issue should we need to acquire or utilize more powerful items, but I suppose that's an issue when we get there. If we get there.
I'll nod in Yap's direction. Shall we?
Yes, let's look at that ring. Joshua!
Ah! Yeah.
Prepare the laboratory. We've got some investigating to do.
Yes. And he'll run back upstairs.
As we're walking up the stairs, Noel pats Yap's back and casts Death Ward. Look, you don't know. That's 8 hours of night. No bad night.
Yeah, I mean, Lord knows what this investigation's gonna unleash.
I'll say not
mention-
no bad night, just pretty damn close bad night.
Yeah.
Right. Not to mention, I still got a plant up there.
You do. You got one good touch in.
Right.
You can always use it to touch it and live.
I don't think so, because if you recall, it's not dropped to 0 hit points, it's
Shit.
stayed.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first time the target would drop to 0 hit points. Sure enough. Yeah. Oh no! If the target is if the spell is still in effect when the target is subjected to an effect that would kill it instantaneously without dealing damage, that effect is instead negated against the target and the spell ends.
Ooh,
So
that
it
is good
catches
to
it.
know. This is
No.
in fact a one good touch
Yeah,
spell.
a good touch. You can always use it for that if you don't end up dying in investigation.
Very nice.
Tally ho.
Okay. So, get out of here. Use your legs, jackass. Okay. Sorry.
That really hurts, Sarah.
And that's game. Goodbye, everybody. We'll never be speaking to any of you again.
Just turn the lights off when you leave.
Bye. Goodbye.
Okay. So you guys are doing a thorough investigation of what? He's trying to jungle gym of these magic items. We're going to assume that the part of this process is going to be casting the spell Identify, but it's a ritual, so it's like so effectively this takes time, and that's all.
Yep.
But what we're going to do also is I'm going to have you make Arcana checks per magic item until like you'd theoretically discover what you were looking for. And if someone is skilled, if Null is skilled, he can provide the help action.
I am indeed.
All right.
You guys are alone in this, right? Or am I around?
You could be around.
Oh my god, in that case, I'm gonna use Bardic Inspiration for, like, one of the very few times.
Very nice. Yeah, I think, well, we should be all good with this. So, I'll be doing the check at advantage because you're assisting, correct, Noel?
Indeed.
And then there's Bardic Inspiration, and... whoops, I should probably turn it off. Okay, and
you get to roll the Bardic Inspiration twice and choose which one you like better.
okay, is it a
Assuming
D6?
You don't want to use inspiration on this roll.
D8.
A 4 and a 2.
Well, here's the reason I don't. I'll add that 5 to the 14,
Oh,
right?
got it.
And then,
Flash of Genius.
yeah, and then I'll flash a
You got
genius
the
in.
thing.
And
Sick.
Oh, this cake I got is not good.
Oh,
Oh
sorry to
no,
hear
no
that.
one wants bad cake.
Yeah, it'll fine.
And in my case, that is a +6, so that is a 25.
Excellent.
hell yeah.
So, one of the things that you discover in your research, theoretically, like, with only needing to investigate one, perhaps like the ring where it would be a little bit more easy to see what you're looking for, the spell appears to be Detect Thoughts, which suddenly burns with the fact that you guys have been doing telekinetic communication.
Yeah, well, yeah, no reason to keep this secret or trying to be quiet about it anymore. It seems the magic being used here allows Zendros or whomever is in her employ to detect our thoughts.
Well. Shit.
No, I had no idea you used such language.
I am not supposed to. It felt appropriate.
I think I'm going to take another swing, see if I can learn anything else interesting from this thing.
We have the Headband of Intellect too, which is a harder task. Because it's an enchantment underneath another enchantment.
I think I'm going to go ahead and say with the 25 that you rolled, that it's a very special kind of Detect Thoughts that is not limited by distance nor concentration, but it is still ruled as Detect Thoughts, where it's, theoretically it's only a 2nd level spell, so Dispel Magic would get rid of it. And if you were to contest it and succeed, it would no longer be, it would be suppressed for some time.
Okay. I mean, out
Miles
of
likes the
character,
bad cake.
the Detect Thoughts is interesting because it's it's just rather than like being super spy, it's just incredibly manipulative a thing for a shopkeeper to do.
Yeah, it seems to be
Know what
for
you
exactly
want.
the purpose that she seemed to be exemplifying it. The
Yeah.
last time, like when you guys were there, which is to say, you can't lie to me.
Mhm.
You can't scam me.
But that same information could be used to manipulate Krellick. In fact, it's a better case for Krellick being manipulated by her. If she knows
Theoretically.
what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Even more than just hearing the things Krellick has said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fun. Shit. I feel like we're just standing around and send Joshua to go tell Satchel. Oh, we're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah, Mr. Satchel, they say that the enchantment appears to be a spell that can read thoughts.
Okay. And they've dispelled it, or
I don't think so.
I'll go to the workshop.
Yeah, it's kind of cramped in there. They're very big. You know what? I'll be a rat. And he shifts into a rat and climbs up the stairs very slowly.
I was just gonna stand in the doorway, Joshua. Anyway.
Okay, he's a rat now.
Yeah, well, he can hear me, he just doesn't understand. Zasha will very carefully step around Joshua and okay, so detect thoughts. Is that?
Could I tell, given the Arcana check, whether or not someone has to be attuned to this ring for the detect thoughts to actually function?
Yes. It would appear not necessarily, simply because some of these magic items that you have are not attunement items. I believe the Ring of Swimming is not. I think.
Okay.
So it stands to reason that it is not necessary, simply because not all magic items that are affected are attunement items.
Okay. Well, I guess we have to decide what to do with this ring now. Do we want to dispel it so that we can ensure that Zendros won't be listening in on any of our thoughts? Or do we want to keep it as it is, as a bit of evidence that she is selling tainted goods?
I suppose that ultimately is Krellick's decision. It is an item that he purchased, so he sort of should have the say on it. Ultimately, even if we can prove that Zendros knows that these items are enchanted this way, and even if she's not directly responsible for that enchantment, what is the goal there? What do we hope to get by proving this to be the case? If the answer is we don't really know, or we don't have a definitive goal, then at this point I would say clear our things so that they can't continue to watch us, and then simply go about our business. I am sort of curious if each one of these items is enchanted with this same spell. How do they keep track of all of those different streams of thoughts? I mean, just with us, that's 6 people's thoughts going into, well, 5, I believe. Lauren has nothing. Null, you don't, so it would be 4, but still. 4 individuals whose thoughts are all going into one place. That would require at least 4 people. Well, I would think at least it would require at least 4 people just to keep track of it, and then one person to... I mean, I realize it's on and off, although I've been wearing the cuff awake 24 hours a day for some time now.
You present an interesting point. If it is employees doing this thing, this perpetual monitoring, the value of the information must be rather high. At least as far as she is concerned.
Well, and Vicaris raises a correct point of that depends very much on what this information is being used for. If it is... Well, we have no way of knowing, and there's no point in speculating. Well, I suppose we do have a way of knowing. We could simply go ask, given that Zendros is almost certainly aware that we are aware of this extra enchantment.
True.
Given that some of these some of these thought streams will have gone silent. But ultimately, unless we are going to confront Zendros in some way and seek either monetary returns or some sort of punitive justice, I don't see what we gain by going through with a confrontation. We can, of course, simply clean the items we have, not purchase anything further from that temple, and it sort of becomes a moot point for us. Although, it does make me wonder if perhaps the council has purchased items from Zendros. I know Zendros said that she occasionally did business with Kelladek. I wonder if Kelladek is aware.
Fair enough. At the moment, I will solve the current issue. I am undecided on whether I think Krellick was manipulated with the use of this magic.
I think we should keep this ring as it is. If we need to go to the council with evidence, this should prove quite handy. And if we need to threaten Zendros that we're going to go to the council with evidence, this ring should prove quite handy.
Does placing it in a bag of holding keep it from working?
I admit I am not completely familiar with that sort of magic, but I expect that I could speak to Liru. It is almost certainly within her purview. Very few magics work flawlessly across planes, except those specifically designed to. Even the sending from my tome has a chance to get, well, lost in the ether if the person to whom I am speaking is not on the material plane, well, not on the plane that I am on.
My bag of holding can put it on the ethereal plane.
Would I either have any idea if the effect of this ring would be limited or blocked by putting it in a bag of holding, or could I make a check to determine that?
Sarah?
Are you on mute?
Yep. I was halfway through the explanation. Oops. With the equipment and tools you have, you don't have a means of being able to test that, but with the check that you made, what Zashel says makes sense, that it would be blocked by that kind of distance. There is literally no way for you to test that, though, as you are not the source of the spell.
Gotcha. Well, Vicaris, I think you holding it in that bag of holding is about as good as we can do.
Mhm.
Right?
Would you also put the headband of intellect in there?
Of course.
I will fix the wand. And tomorrow I will fix Krellick's other wand.
Wait, Krellick has more than one wand?
Yes.
Yes.
Going for a bandolier of wands.
One of them he uses for light tricks. The other one he uses for confidence.
What ring is this?
A ring of swimming.
Ring of swimming. See, a ring of swimming laced with detect thoughts magic.
And
And-
I want you to know that I caught that, even though it was very quiet in the microphone.
What do you mean? Look at that one on the playback.
Alright.
Okay. So, yeah, I'll spend one more upper level. I think you have to spend a 5th level spell slot to. I know it's not great to get rid of the wand of the war mage, but that way I'm done with everything besides, and then I'll probably immediately go to bed.
It's still morning.
Yeah, it's still morning. You guys have not gotten very far into your day.
No, I gotta take a siesta. About this 8-hour siesta.
I don't think you had long rest already.
I'm
It's,
still on vacation.
His sleep schedule's messed up from other things. All the paperwork.
I mean,
And
you are
find the Dark Lord.
You are welcome to crash for 8 hours, but it's like you're not gonna be. It's not gonna be until basically the next day that you will have your full rest.
That's fine. I'll spend the day doing my usual paperwork stuff.
Okay.
Well, like a more fun paperwork. I'll go back to helping with the gambling ledger. It's a nice little treat.
Okay.
Oh, shit. I just remembered something. Vendin, hello?
Ah, yes.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but, we've ended Granny Nightshade.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
what a relief!
Anything else we can do for you, Vendin?
Evidently not.
Anything you'd like to do for us?
Oh wow.
I don't remember what I'm capable of. One moment.
Oh, is this the fucking?
The skull and spine?
Yeah.
Suddenly
Okay.
I don't feel so bad about forgetting that goblin for so long.
Yes.
Well, Vendon was abandoned again. It's symmetry.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh, where?
He could have been really helpful, but
Vendin, seeing as we have vanquished the one reason that you had for your continued existence on this plane and your inability
Yes.
to move on,
Correct.
would you like it if we just buried you?
I actually would not. That'd be dreadfully lonely.
Oh, so you're just stuck here, even with Granny Nightshade gone. You're just
It
around.
would appear so.
Wonderful. Have you ever thought of a job as a door knocker?
I feel it's a little less dignified even than being swung as a club, but I have had a terrible few hundred years.
Right, you'll get to see lots of nice people. You'll see wonderful scenery.
Yes. There is certainly worse things you could do to me, like bury me.
Okay, well, calm down. I thought that perhaps that might be something that you'd like, but clearly not. So,
No,
this
I
should be an
appreciate the thought. I just want to be clear that I was very excited to finally have company. Even
Okay,
though I
well,
have been merely listening for, what now, months?
Well, this will give you plenty of opportunity to see company, and you'll still get to see it might get warm or cold from time to time, or a little rainy, but I'm sure that's a small price to pay.
It is all fine, as I have no nerves.
Wonderful, then it'll work out well, and I'll put you up, I'll position you high enough that you shouldn't have to worry about a rage fang.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, don't worry about it. It will be just fine. I'm sure you'll be fast friends. Come on, let's get you hung up.
Yes.
I'll go hang up our new sentient door knocker, Vendin the Abandoned.
So now when people come in, not only is there a magic mouth that goes off and either welcomes acquisition employees or welcomes potential customers, we have an intelligent door knocker of fucking 100-year-old priest or however old this dude is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I guess the scourge of the undead in Dreadwood hasn't really been solved entirely.
There were still other hag covens in the Dreadwood.
So like, he's gonna be here a while.
Wait,
Well,
do you want me to like contact Misa? They've got priests. They're still going around clearing the Dreadwood. We can get into that.
Yeah, do you want to go fight more, Vendin? That's another option. We can send you back there.
That is much more dignified than the current solution, which is nailing me to a door.
All right, well, calm down. You haven't exactly been very forthcoming on what exactly you'd like to get done here. We're just working with the
Listen,
best
I'm
we got.
just a skull and I have my spine. There is very little opinions that I have except that only to do good.
Oh, like being a door knocker's not doing good. All right, Mr. Judgy. Well,
Well, would you prefer to be a door knocker than be a hero?
I think that you're
That's
forgetting.
what I thought.
I think you're forgetting there's no such thing as small roles, only small actors. So here you're giving an opportunity to.
Are you
to
making
work
fun
for-
of my height?
I'm sorry.
I'm saying you have an opportunity to work for an illustrious organization, and I think you're overlooking it.
What is this entity we are speaking to? And will somebody explain to me the shouting in my head?
Ah, no, you are hearing it out loud. This is spoken.
Are you undead?
I suppose that is approximately what you could assume me to be. I am the soul of Vendin, a soldier of Saint Cuthbert. I have been tasked many, many years ago with assisting in the purging of the Dreadwood, and I have failed utterly, and have been doomed thus to endure life this way after I have been ripped apart by creatures of the Dreadwood. And only my spite, I suppose, well, no longer only my spite, but perhaps some curse from the Dawn Lord himself to witness this world from this very, very shameful place.
Hey, you know what? I just got an idea. Vicaris, give me that ring.
All right, I'll give him the ring. Give her.
I place Vendin's spine through the ring
Oh lord.
and let him wear it like a necklace. And so now Zendros can enjoy those thoughts.
Yeah.
No will pipe up and say, "Do you want me to help you fix your condition?" You are anathema and abomination, which isn't.
How cruel, but
Right.
completely accurate.
Yes.
My god would agree, despite the fact that I am certain that he is the one who has put me here.
It is. Do you? Okay. Is that a yes? You want me to help you?
I would very much like to die.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I would like you to die as well. Oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, fucking. You look about the cooldown of that. I can't remove curse till tomorrow anyway, so like. Oh shit. Okay. I don't remember when I used divine intervention.
It
Yes,
was
it was-
not terribly long
Yeah.
ago, actually.
I
It
don't
was
think
for
it was
Kralik. It was
yesterday.
yesterday.
Okay, it was yesterday, so then I'm
Yeah.
okay.
That was today.
Yeah, I'm unclear on what time
This
of.
is, this is still the same day that we discovered.
Oh, yes, yes. This is
Yeah.
the same day that. Yes, yes.
Okay.
It was today.
I will assist you in dying tomorrow.
Thank you.
I've expended significant magics.
Wait, how are you helping him die?
Paperwork, primarily.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that with paperwork.
It is advanced paperwork.
You're not killing him, right? You're just releasing his soul from. And Lauren gestures to.
Misunderstanding. He is already dead. Anathema, yes.
Yes.
Abomination.
Mm-hmm.
hmm I'm rectifying that situation. Or trying it. Unless he would prefer to remain anathema and hunt other anathema, which.
As compelling as that sounds, I have been dreadfully unsuccessful with it so far.
How
I mean,
long
try again, right?
how long have you been in Yop's custody?
I believe it has been some 3 months.
Right. Oh, for the moment, do you want us to leave you as the door knocker for today?
I do not think so.
Okay, well. You are very loud.
However, I have already been nailed to the door, so
Yes.
you know what?
Many...
It's fine here.
Okay, I want you then to think many loud thoughts about your hatred for the anathema.
That is easily done. It is one of the only things I do think of.
Yes, except I'm going to go far away from where you are, so I do not have to hear them. No, just starts walking off.
Farewell! I could have sworn Noel actually did get to see this guy.
No! No! Like, I knew this item existed. Nobody's told me we're carrying around a fucking, like, undead creature in a spine.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We'll showed up after we found Vendon, because we got Vendon
Right.
on our first run into Granny Nightshade.
Right.
and after a couple attempts at utilizing Vendon in and around combat, and his performance being essentially what we just witnessed.
Give the guy a break! He has no hands!
I understand, right? But just look, reality is what it is, right? Him not being incredibly helpful or endearing. Right? It was. Why don't you go over here into the quiet zone, Vendon?
You go be the door knocker.
That's all right. As long as I get, 20 12 to 24 hours of his thoughts being funneled through that ring.
Oh no, that bird is pecking me. Shit. I've been defecated upon by seagulls.
Right.
Adam, one of the most endearing things about you and playing D&D with you is watching how quickly you can turn from problem solving to how can I annoy the bad guy as consistently as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's flip sides of the same coin.
Truly inspired.
All right. While this is happening, Krullik,
Yeah.
what you up to?
So much. So much. I actually have clarifying lore questions.
Yes.
So, in my physical time in Saltmarsh, and I may have been here, in the past, but not at any significant length, not as I currently have been. But in my time with Acquisitions Incorporated, I have not seen Captain Zendros on a ship. Am I aware? What is her reputation on the high seas?
She is recognized more as a merchant, and it is known that she is in fact a sailor. She just appears to have a permanent residence here and has spent herself. She is spent substantial amount of time recently here. However, she is known as a sailor.
Okay. And what is that reputation? Like, has she run in our circles of the people that I would be involved with or interact with to know this reputation of hers?
She almost has certainly been to Monmerg before in the same capacity that she is in Saltmarsh as a tradesman.
As a tradesman, okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool.
She does not run in your circles, but she sells to them.
Yeah. It sounds like maybe not a pirate herself, but is willing to sell goods to anyone who wishes to purchase.
That is absolutely correct, yes.
Okay. Very good. Does she have a good reputation? Does she ever rip people off?
I think that there is the understanding, as is kind of been understood here, that her prices are steep, her products work, and it is definitely known that it is very clear that sometimes her items are procured in less than scrupulous ways.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be a problem for myself and my colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Okay. I go to the bar and I ask whoever's behind the bar, to like get me a drink, and I order a little plate of like cheeses and meats. I'm stirring the drink with the prestidigitation wand, and I have my ooze in a jar, and I'm like dropping cheese and meat into it and watching it dissolve in there.
Oh no, you're not watching it dissolve. It's doing something else.
Oh, okay. What's it doing?
It is playing with it very consciously.
Okay. Interesting. I kind of like look at it a bit, tap the jar with my finger.
It sits up and reacts to your finger.
I trace my finger along the jar to see if it tracks it and follows it.
Yes.
You's a good pet. Okay, look, I'm kind of busy right now, but you and me, we's gonna figure something out, okay?
And
It very obviously nods. It takes the objects you have given it and begins to make a form out of them. So it has almost a humanoid shape with a little skeleton of objects inside of it.
excellent. I'll hold up the ale cup I have and say, you want a little bit of this?
It shakes its little head.
Okay. I'm gonna put you away, but don't worry. We're gonna play again.
It nods very deliberately.
Okay. I secure the lid. set it back in my pack. Did not expect that. Excellent. Taking notes for that.
Did a flubber.
The ooze is alive. Okay. I'm sitting there. I'm having some drinks, and I'm like watching the rest of the franchise, and I look. I finish my drink, and I look up at Lucky as they're like leaving to go off wherever they're going, and I say to her,
Lucky, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
About
Probably end up
She lets you speak.
I think I'm gonna have to end up like working for Zanny or something.
I don't know about that. It sounds like there might be things we can do.
Nobody liked my ideas, and I mean, I don't know what to do. I want to hurt her so bad, but I feel like she's got all the cards.
I mean, she kind of does.
I look at my empty cup with the wand in it and say,
Lucky, can we go down the cellar and get more ale? I'm inconsolable.
She puts her arm over your shoulders to just touch the top of your back, basically, and pats you and takes you downstairs.
Okay. I as we head down that way, I just grab a little cheese and meat to eat as we walk down there. When we get down into the cellar, is there anyone in here, or is it just us in the cellar?
I'll say that there's nobody there. There's not really any reason for anyone to be down there.
Cool. When we get down there, I turn to Lucky and say,
Okay, now that the others is busy, I think we bought ourselves some time.
Her head cocks to the side, and her eyebrows raise.
You know, that ability of yours to like travel around, how many times a day can you do it?
As long as I've got the time and the materials, I can just kind of do it whenever.
What do you need to do it?
She reaches into her bag and produces some of the incense and components.
Okay, how many times is that going to get us?
1, 2, 3, 6.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, look, I gotta do this while I'm still holding on to the ideas, right? I don't have my helm anymore, so it's hard to focus a bit. But you know, the one benefit actually is instead of having to think of a lot of things all the time, now I only gotta think of one thing.
Oh?
Yeah. How to take down that little bat girl.
And how's that going?
It's a work in progress.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I was gonna need your help to like, you know, come with me and watch me back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I need to find something down here.
I'll take out some of the little food bits and start making mouse noises. See if I can call a rat.
With like your speak with animals and other things, you can find a rat.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And I would do the speak with animals thing with it, so I can actually talk to it. I will say to it,
oh, hello. What's your name?
Bethany?
Oh, hey, Bethany. Is you doing all right down here? Getting enough to eat?
No.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
It's
Hey,
very good for your business, I suppose, but it's terrible for the rat colonies.
Yeah, well,
The Rat King will be deeply displeased.
does the Rat King live here?
Sometimes.
Okay, well, Bethany, I was gonna take care of you, but what's the Rat King's name?
Rat King.
Rat King, I knew it. Okay, look, Bethany.
Every once in a while he is born into a new rat colony. He lives and dies and is brought into another world.
That sounds romantic.
We all aspire to one day be born as the Rat King.
Yeah, I think if I was a rat, I'd like to be a Rat King too. Hey, Bethany, what's your favourite flavour of food? What's the food you like the most?
Spicy.
Spicy. Hey, me too. Hey, what's this, Bethany?
I will pull out a little chunk of the cheese and say some words of Draconic, cast accurately piquancy, and makes a spicy cheese, and hold it out for them to eat.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah, it's so funny that you said spicy food, because I love spicy food too.
Oh, I can die now happy
Yeah, well,
to be
I mean,
shown such kindness.
you ain't gonna die now, is you?
Well, that's sort of up to you, I think. I'm the prey animal here.
Bethany, come on now. You and me, we's good friends now. You and I, we both like the same food. We both know the Rat King.
I suppose you're right.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I could get you like a ton more of that spicy cheese if you want. But I need you to do me a favor first.
Anything for you.
Well, there's a little place I'd like to take you to, and I'd like you to kind of get inside of it, and I want you to look for a lady that looks like this.
I will also cast piquancy to make a little trinket that looks like a tiny Captain Zendros.
Oh, I know this one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, none such look like her in the entire city.
Well, you get around, Bethany. You really get all over the place.
That's what rats do.
Well, you see, I was wondering if you could go into her shop, right? I'll bring you there, right? And then once you find her, you just kind of get someplace safe and hard, and all you've got to do is just kind of listen and watch where she goes.
For how long?
I don't know, maybe like a half hour or so.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe like half hour to an hour. We'll see how it goes.
I have no concept of the measure of time that is such increments.
Oh, okay. Well, then just you stay there until, you know, the light goes down. You know, the sun goes down.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah. Now, I was gonna do some magic like I did with your cheese, and I was gonna be able to see and hear what you can see.
Ah!
Yeah.
Like the Rat King.
Just like the Rat King. Okay, let's go. I turn to Lucky and say, okay, this is Bethany. She's very nice. We're gonna use her to spy on Zanny, see how she likes it.
She gives you a thumbs up. Incredulous, absolutely, but a thumbs up.
Okay. I will bring Bethany and some more of the cheese, and I'll go down with Lucky and head towards the green market near the empty nest, and as hold yeah, okay. And once we kind of get I'm across the street, not necessarily trying to be hidden, because I'm the big turtle here. I mean, okay, I am definitely trying to stealth. I am, but I know I cannot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have you roll stealth, but what I'm hearing is you're trying to be inconspicuous.
A little inconspicuous. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm just because I go to this bar.
You're going to the bar, yeah.
Yeah, I go to the
I'm
bar
with you.
all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 4. Excellent.
Yeah, that checks. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I set Bethany
Nothing
down.
to see here. Yes.
I set Bethany down. Actually, sorry. I hold Bethany, and then I'll spend the 10 minutes to ritually cast Beast Sense, and then I will set her down and kind of give her a little shoo towards the building that Captain Zanny's in.
Okay. Then you watch from her senses as she finds a way into the building. It appears that she actually enters through a back door, which has a sliding glass pane, unlike the front. She waits until another acolyte seems to be passing through, and she hides in each corner, but next to the walls, scurries along. It is busy here. Without customers here, you see a little bit more of what you assume to be the presence of the captain, as the captain. Zendros is a little bit sharper in her tone as she speaks to her clerics, and louder even. Her footfalls are surprisingly heavy, and she moves through the whole building, making what appears to be very deliberate rounds. She enters into some of the side rooms where there are many cases of things being either, reviewed and cataloged, rooms where things are being created, rooms where there is essentially just like the cleaning and purging or decursing of what appears to be some items, and then also a room where there is enchantments being placed. And every once in a while she goes to the basement, where there are a number of hidden things, as you recall. And every once in a while she pulls something out from there, and does very little with it to reveal what might be inside, but brings it to other rooms, leaves them, and continues on. Every once in a while a customer does come through. It appears mostly for the sake of health potions, salves, lower level very, very low level magic, or assistance with like identification or something like that. And every time the door is opened, she snaps to attention and puts on her customer service presentation. Every once in a while somebody shows up. I think maybe once during the duration, where she takes someone down to the basement. There is some sort of transaction made in the basement, and that person then leaves, sometimes through the front door, sometimes through the back door, but always with a parcel that is entirely covered and disguised.
Okay.
You also see her frequently referring to her ledger, usually while in the process of like checking something off with the catalogs, with the cataloging room, that sort of thing.
Okay.
It's a dense hour, honestly.
Yeah. Do I get a sense of like how many people are in this place?
Each room has at least 3 people in it at a time, and there is a lot of movement.
Yeah. So pretend like 2 dozen, 3 dozen, perhaps.
I would say that's a good ballpark.
Okay. 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 I mean, I'm only seeing what the rat sees and all that. So is that what the rat gathers in that time frame?
Yes.
Okay. Very, very good. Once the like kind of sight fades, I'll look to Lucky and be like, "How long was I gone?"
She like leans over to a window to check the sun. Hour, maybe.
Okay, well, I sure hope Bethany gets out there alive. She's probably dead though. Let's what is
Shit.
Yeah,
She drinks.
It's not very good for the rats in this town, but hey, did you know there's a rat king that lives in Saltmarsh?
What the fuck?
Yeah, like crazy. Bethany says that she knows it.
And you believe the rat?
Yeah. Have you ever known a rat to lie?
I don't think I've known a rat to speak.
Oh, well, I don't think they lie very often. They's generally very good and afraid a lot of the time, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I only have
your.
your word to take on it, and I'm sorry, but I have my skepticism. She raises her glass to you.
Yeah. Well, apparently I think he comes by your casino every now and then, so, keep an eye out for VIPs.
Will do.
I look around the empty net and say,
hey, you think old Pickering is around here?
She leans around to look, and she gestures with her shoulder towards an old dude in the corner with one arm.
Oh, excellent. Because I figure if anyone knows about, cargo coming in and out of town, old Pickering's been working this harbor for a long time.
Yeah, long enough to get his arm taken off.
Yeah, hearing
That's
tell you
new.
that story, it is crazy.
I'll be sure to ask.
Yeah. Hey, let's go buy him a drink.
Sure. She tosses a couple coins onto the counter for Kreb, who meets you over at the at the corner table with old Pickering.
Hey, easy old man, how you doing?
I've been better.
Yeah, you look like you've been better, you dirty piece of shit.
How rude. How rude of you. I haven't seen you in months, and this is how you choose to speak to me? You young people and your manners. Fucking god damn it.
We's born you around.
You think that makes that better?
I'll buy you 2 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, there he is. You spitfire.
I'll sit down and say,
Hey, so you's generally got a good idea about, what the hubbub around, the harbor is. I mean, I figure if anyone knows what's happening, cargo coming in and out, you's probably got a good idea of it, or at least who to talk to, right?
That I do.
Yeah. I was putting together, I kind of like look around and lean in a bit. I was putting together like a job,
Yeah.
And, well, it's on the hush-hush, right? Let me ask you something. You ever seen how it is that, old Captain Zanny there across the way, you ever see how she gets her cargo in?
Of course. She comes to the docks just as anyone else, though with the, blatant distaste for her appearance and such, she's taken to a lot of her work being done after dark. Shipments come in when the sun goes down. She's very rarely seen outside her house now.
Yeah.
That bitch.
Oh, you don't like her very much, do you?
No, she's ugly as sin.
Yeah, you got that right. Well, does she always use the same boat coming in, or is it different boats each time?
I believe there's a fleet attached.
They ever got, like, insignia to mark them, or is it all, like, hush-hush?
I believe there's a rather prominent mark of that sigil she has on her wristbands. Those gauntlets she wears.
Yeah.
Crossed triangles or what have you.
If a shipment of her goods was coming in, let's say by the end of the week in a few days' time, what route you think they would come in to make berth here?
He gives you a vague description.
Yeah, thought so too. Okay. Hey, do you know if she uses her own crew to move the product once it gets here, or does she hire on any of the, like, dockhands?
No, only her own creeps in the robes.
Yeah, they is creepy too, Pig. You gotta look out for them.
Oh, we do. He spits on the ground.
Okay, well, look. I don't know when it's gonna come together, but, once I get a good crew in mind, I mean, you in for one last job?
No, I have one arm.
Okay, is it a yes or...
No,
Oh, is it no? Okay.
I'm so old. I'm old Pickering, remember?
Yeah, you see, that's what I like about you, Pig. You got a great attitude.
I have no money to retire to. I have very little. I would very much like to be left alone.
Well, how's this, Pete? Since this is on the hush-hush, how about I kick in a little extra, just so this stays between us here?
How much?
I'll pull out 4 Electrum and slide them across the table.
Fuck you. He gets up and leaves.
Shit.
I'll take my Electrum back and look at Lucky and be like,
That went pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't, try to stab you with that fork over there.
Yeah, he tried that once. I mean, he just bent the fork, but it was funny.
She, lifts her shirt for a stab wound in her side.
Oh, he got you. You got
Yeah.
You have got to watch out. That one arm, he moves very quickly with it.
Yeah, he was giving that whole spiel about only having one arm, but that fucker.
Yeah. Okay, shit. Okay, let's take a walk, yeah?
Yeah.
I have gained and lost the plot like 4 times. I don't know what this is anymore.
Don't worry, I do.
I'm
I
so
went
glad
got-
I'm not the only one.
I went and got snacks, just sort of leaned back and like closed my eyes for this vision quest. This fucking
That's- That's what I like about you. You got a great attitude.
Yeah, you got a
Just
real
lost it.
stand-up
Fucking
attitude.
lost it.
Oh, that button, eh? Oh no, that rat's fucking dead. Fuck, like, you are constructing. I don't know what the equivalent of like a Rube Goldberg machine is, like, in terms of like gathering social resources. Like, I'm expecting all of this to be like, so you can like shit in one of her boats. For long plays.
I feel like he
Eddie
wants to do more than just shit.
That's pretty good, though. That is very good. There, note to self.
I've invented the upper decker.
Alright, so what it is you when you think you should be shitting in this spot, right? You just shit up there and you find it a little. You like
Just one
walk
dick
around.
up. Just
Yeah.
go one dick up.
Yeah. God damn it. Oh fuck. We can't leave you alone. You end up going on a fucking fucked up spirit quest every time.
You made a great mistake.
You made-
Rafaela.
Like,
To be fair, Cody doesn't know. Cody didn't know.
I know now.
I don't know if you picked up on it, but I used your own words from last session against you.
Yeah.
When you were like, I think I bought us some time with Kralik.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm happy with this. I'm just baffled.
Sean gave me a warning at the end of last week, just saying like I'm gonna get up to shit with Lucky. I was like, great. I have done no prep. I don't know
Yeah.
what he's doing.
I mean, like you're gonna go do some fucking hijinks.
We're rolling with it. We're rolling with the vibes.
I have loose ideas, a collection of loose ideas.
And I have instincts for how to curb them into something functional.
Yeah, no, it is all going according to plan.
I don't know how that could possibly be.
Trust me.
Oh, fuck me. Like, I've just been sitting here, like, staring at the wall, like, guffawing. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I think we're done with D&D as, like, the hobby, the institution. We did it.
You think I pulled the Rat King out of my ass?
No,
That's
it's
real
not
lore.
just the Rat King. It's the Flubber, the Rat King.
That one I've been
fucking-
waiting on. I've been waiting on the fucking
Yeah,
jar of slime to get
I
interacted with.
appreciate the Flubber and the Jellicle rats being in the same, like, fucking, like, scene, basically.
Yeah, I didn't.
Doesn't matter.
I didn't see the ooze coming. Definitely did not see that happening.
I have been waiting and waiting on that one.
So now I gotta meet this Rat King. It's got to be that King. I really hope Bethany lives.
Bethany's not gonna make it. I have terrible news for you.
Hey, she's a rat. She's been in there. You know what I mean? She knows how to get in and out.
To a magical hell shop?
Yeah. You think that shop doesn't have rats?
You have laced
Every-
the shit out of her with magic.
Every bit of this entire town is filled with rats.
You have, like, irrevocably, like just traces of magic all the fuck over her. Any chance she had at, like, going under the radar is gone.
Well, I don't know about that.
She's like radioactive. Like anybody with like any kind of magic, anything expect. What the fuck is that thing over there? What do you
Yeah.
mean? Oh, that incredibly shining, bright little rat that's running around, staring at us. Really good.
It's fine. It's fine. Look, they went the whole hour without doing anything. I did expect like a sudden cutoff of the senses at some
I
point.
do appreciate if this is the thing that worked. Like modern problems require modern solutions.
Hey,
We didn't
you
know.
never underestimate beast sense. Nobody uses these spells anymore.
It's like I'm very impressed.
Besides, technically, although I did say the word magic, but that was a faux pas on my point. You know, we don't consider this magic, although, you know, I think it, you know,
Yeah.
it is magic.
It's the same thing with being detected as a beast with dominate beast.
Yeah. Oh, it's real good. It's real good. What time we come back?
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I will be right back. Okay. Who do we have? Adam, you here?
Hello.
All right, Doug, you here?
It just took me a second.
You're good. I was drinking. Monkey, you here?
Yep.
Sean is here. Ted.
Yep.
And Cody. Okay. Back at the lighthouse. I don't know. What are you guys doing? Any thoughts about what you want to do with all this information you've collected, or do you want to just kind of drop it entirely and go do something else? Like, what's the plan, gang?
I love ignoring my problems.
I know.
Let's do other things.
It's very good for D&D to ignore the problems.
Well, we still have to remove the thing from the items because it's the same day, but we need to rest, and then Lauren needs to prepare the right spells. But for the rest of the day, I don't know. She's just lounging around the lighthouse.
Well, I have a quick question for, well, actually, all four of you. Does anybody have any magics that might force someone to tell the truth?
I do not know.
I believe so.
Yes, I do. I do.
Do you have them available now?
Of course.
Wonderful. Would you mind joining me in my laboratory?
Sure. Should I be worried?
Joshua!
Yes?
Would you mind joining us in the laboratory, please?
Absolutely.
And once we get up there, excuse me. Now, Joshua, I believe you're now familiar with the situation we found ourselves in with some of these magic items.
Uh-huh.
It seems that Captain Zendros has been spying on us, and to what end we do not know.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's made a number of us, myself included, a little bit more paranoid than we normally are.
Oh.
Making us question many things in the past that may not have raised suspicions immediately and may not be suspicious at all, but given the current circumstances, we need to look at perhaps a little more closely.
I've never trusted Tobias.
Oh, well, that's very interesting information, and we will put that on the list. And
That gives me like stink eye.
Yop takes a note of that, right? And says, now, Joshua, you have been a wonderful assistant, and I have enjoyed your company quite a bit, but I must say the circumstances under which you have come to join us, even you must admit they're a little bit odd.
That's rude.
Well, you don't think it's strange that you were following us out in the wilderness? You don't think that's rude? No, you know what? Don't answer that. I've got an easy way to resolve this problem. If you wouldn't mind, Lauren here would cast a spell so that we can ask you a few questions and make sure, as I know to be the case, right, that your interest in working here with me and with us is on the up and up, and then we can move forward with this, and perhaps we can question Tobias together. Would you be willing to submit to this? Oh, well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, Joshua. Thank you so much. Lauren, if you would be so kind as to cast said spell.
Sure. One question. Who is Tobias?
The scout you've hired? He was here before me?
Oh, Toby! I didn't know his name was Tobias.
Yeah.
Lauren pulls out a notebook and writes that down. Yup, is your name short for anything? Should I have that in my notes?
Yop takes the next 20 minutes pronouncing her full name.
Oh god! Lauren will ask you to spell that, but after that, Zone of Truth. That's
another like 30 minutes. Okay. What questions do you want to ask?
Okay, and Lauren, you are confident that he is participating in said spell?
No, he kinda refused to participate properly. You know, when you cast this magic, the creature has to allow the magic to take them over, but he didn't allow the magic to take him over, and she kind of looks at him and kind of shifts slightly backwards and further away from him.
He visibly sweats.
I think he definitely has something to hide.
He turns into a rat.
The door's closed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send Betty after him. I want Betty to grab him.
Okay, because he's a rat now. Does this work?
I think it does. Oh man. Oh, that's a failure. You have the rat in your control, Lauren.
God, I actually don't know what to do now.
I'm tying the. That's an interesting question. I will have Betty grab hold of him.
Okay.
So at least he'll be grappled in whatever form he's in.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if I've got anything else interesting. I've got nothing.
Can I command him to shift back?
I suppose you can.
And once I see that Betty has him grappled.
Yeah, okay. He is still like caught in the beak around his torso as a person. I guess technically as a shape changer he's not a beast, but I'm gonna let it go anyway because I liked it, and you know it's a good use of the spell. Yeah, we're gonna go with it.
I'll pull out some rope and maybe we should tie him down?
Well, I don't see what good that would do if he can just transform into a rat again.
I'm very slippery.
Well, Joshua, it seems the jig is up. So would you like to tell us what's going on?
No.
So what do you suppose we should do since you won't tell us what's going on?
I don't know. Could you let me go? I'd like to go
No.
home.
No, that's not an option, Joshua. I could let you hold my plant.
Why are you here? Why don't you just tell us that?
Okay. I mean, oh, I'm so dead. I'm so fucking dead. Oh god, I'm so dead. Where I come from in the Dreadwood, there's Fey spirits we answer to. And there is one who is the master of me and my people. And he thought y'all were very clever and wanted to know more. And he's very smart and inventive and cunning. And he likes the inventions. He just wanted me to learn on his behalf. Understand what you guys are doing. Bring back arcane secrets for him.
And what is this space spirit's name?
Well, we call him the King of the Rats, of course. He is the master of all rodential lycanthrope. And of, well, all rats, everywhere. Really.
Do you know of any other names that the Rat King goes by?
Oh no, it'd be sacrilegious. All Fae have their own names. Secret names. To know them is to, hold power over them.
Well, I wasn't suggesting...
He is an Archfey.
I wasn't suggesting that you know his true name. I was just wondering if there are any other aliases that you might be aware of.
I was hoping maybe one day, after all the hard work I've put in and the near-death experiences I've had, maybe one day I'd get to call him Bert. But that seems like that day has passed. Oh, I'm so dead.
I will yell down for Zashel and Vicaris for Noel.
I'm gonna cast this and also yell down even louder in case they didn't hear to, make it very urgent.
Right, we're on our way. Quit screaming.
You could have used the sending ring.
Sean, no joke. I was just looking for that guy's actual name.
Oh, I remember this guy. Oh, man. Been a minute. Oh, man. Anyway, the 5 of you are in the...
that tab up. I'm trying to find his name.
The 5 of you are in the lab with... Okay,
little cramped. What's the problem?
Hi. Hello, thank you for joining us. I'd like to introduce you all to Joshua here, who is a spy for the Rat King.
Oh, God!
Or the what now?
Joshua, would you like to explain yourself?
The King of the Rats, the Archfey of Beasts, the Lord of all rodents in the material plane, and all rodential lycanthrope.
Well, that was a mouthful.
Yeah, that's why we usually say Rat King!
I see. And why are you here then?
I'm spying on Yop.
Okay, so what's the issue, Yop? What do you just need me to take care of this, or what?
Well, I just thought it best that everyone be aware that there are spies afoot everywhere. And
sort of assumed that for a while now. I mean, we've caught the attention of dark magic a few times. We've sided with Chandria. We've, we're on the Scarlet Brotherhood's list, so I don't sleep anymore.
Well, I was actually hoping to ask if Vicaris knows anything about a Rat King?
Oof, Sarah, do I?
Why don't you roll a history check with advantage?
Oh, fuck yeah. And I'm proficient
You got this. I'll give you guidance too.
with a D4.
And actually, while he's doing this,
Mhm.
I will send off to head office.
All right, roll me a history check.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Doing great. Can you? I love you. Stop.
Oh,
And
hey.
can I apply a flash of genius to that? Just because I would like to know every fucking thing possible about the Rat King.
Well, you will learn everything that is available when you pass the
Okay.
check. There's no
Gotcha.
holds barred.
Okay.
And I think Vicaris knows like slightly less about this than what you are going to learn.
But when we
although
mesh
his-
it together, we probably come up with everything.
Yeah. So in the totality, Vicaris, you have a bit more of an emotional understanding of this creature, which is that he is one of the one of the beast lords of the Fae, like the Great Elk, the Unicorn, the Queen of Cats. There is a whole kingdom to the beasts, and he is a lord among them. And he's a dick, and everybody hates him. He's a piece of shit. He hangs out on the material plane pretty much exclusively. That's all like what you learn or what you remember. And Yop, you learn again. This is an archfey who lives in the material plane, and he lives his life in a specific colony for a while, usually in high populated areas. He is killed, or usually he dies in some fashion, but he is then his spirit returns to the astral plane, where he is reconstituted and he is born again somewhere else in another rat colony in a city somewhere. He has been a bit of a scourge in many occasions. He is a thief, a smuggler, a foul creature. He is a piece of shit.
Well, Joshua, I'm not sure I know what to do with you at this point.
Just make me touch the plant, I guess.
Well, I mean, you're a nice enough boy, but I can't really keep you around. You just report back to the Rat King.
And I can't in any way disobey him. If I ever come in contact with him again, I am compelled to do all that he asks.
Yes, well, that doesn't really concern me at this point. I'm more concerned that if he sees you again after I kick you out, he'll just kill you.
Yeah, he'll definitely do that. Probably be eaten slowly, like in that book, Pin the Pendulum.
Yes, that doesn't sound like much fun at all.
No,
I'd stay out of pits if I were you.
I try to stay out of pits. A pit sneaks up on you every once in a while.
Yes, well... Why don't we, Why don't we find a place for you to stay while we decide what to do with you?
Okay.
Do we have an unoccupied room here in the lighthouse?
It's room 4, or there's no floor.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I am
You
to
could
the
al-
ceiling and have him hang suspended over the floor.
He could use my room. I don't have anything in there that he can mess with, really.
Are you sure, Lord?
Yeah, I just have to get that doll. I think that's the only thing in there.
The only thing in the room is the doll with your squid head.
Well, there's like a little shrine, but that's like... he can make a new shrine.
Can people breathe on the ethereal plane?
Can people breathe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if we're looking for a holding cell, we could turn him to a rat and put him in my bag.
Sick. Let's go full grimdark, huh? Yeah. Tell you what, just send him to old Noel's room.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
Time to time, he'll be all right.
Want a scared straight program? That's just send it to Noel's room. You want to see death, son?
I mean, could you turn into a rat and then we can put you into a box with air holes so you don't suffocate?
That's kind of demeaning.
You know what? Does anybody have any bright ideas on how we can possibly save Joshua's life here?
Let him continue to do what he's been doing.
And let him continue to spy on us for the Rat King? Or spy on me for the Rat King?
Isn't there a prison in this town?
Feed him specific information now that we know he's spying. Just the things that he passes along are the things you want him to pass along. With the understanding that if he passes on unauthorized information, he touches the plant.
Wait, Zashel. Isn't there like a prison in this town where you put things in and they don't have magic and they can't do magic things?
Okay, Joshua, go sit in my room. I'll be back eventually.
Okay.
I'm afraid the prison that we put him in, regardless of the lack of magic, isn't necessarily outside of the reach of the Rat King.
Listen, everyone. I will close the door behind me with Joshua in the room. I'm in need of a magic item, and I don't know who to trust or where else I could get it, so I'm going to go to Waterdeep.
Now?
Yes.
Did you want to tell us about the magic item, or how long you'll be gone?
I need to get something that will protect my mind from intrusion between our lovely time with your friends, Vicaris, and now Zendros, and now Joshua. I'm no longer comfortable dealing with any of this without some sort of protection.
Okay.
And if I can't get it, I simply won't be back.
I mean, if you speak to Lucky, she can probably get you there quickly so that it doesn't take...
Wonderful. Anybody interested in joining me?
Me? I want to go buy some things.
I don't have it.
Are you going to the Acquisitions Incorporated store, Lauren? I think we might need to have an intervention.
Maybe. Listen, if I have to get rid of all of my Captain Zendros stuff, I kind of want, other things. Also, I heard they just released a deck of cards because of, the gambling house we have, based on us, and I thought it'd be cool to get it and see what it looks like.
Let me know what merchandise has been made of me. I am curious.
Sure. I didn't see any the last time I checked, but it's been a while.
I will go with you into Saltmarsh at least.
Wonderful then. I will go downstairs. I'll let Abernathy know I plan on being gone for a while, and I will let Missy know that if she sees Joshua outside of it, well, actually, Joshua's locked in the room. He should stay in the room, and if she sees him at all, she should shoot him between the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
She signs to you. Are you sure?
Oh, absolutely. He has very strict instructions, conducting a very important experiment.
Isn't Missy like a teenager?
But she's hard as fuck.
She nods and pulls the revolver from her hip, spins the chamber to check it, and locks it back in and nods again.
Yeah, she tried to shoot Krellick. Like, this is not...
I realize. I'm just... just... Okay.
And I am going to head to the King's Cross Casino and wait for Lucky.
Oh, great. Well, they're not there.
Right, that's why, right.
Okay.
Actually, Yop, if you...
Hmm?
If you'd rather, instead of just waiting here for them, I was going to go see Manistrad.
Yes,
I...
I don't mean to be presumptuous, but I would love to join you.
Yes, thank you. That would be...
Oh, can I come too?
Of course, yes. I figured while... I don't know where Krellick and Lucky have gone to, but while everyone's, I suppose, doing individual things right now, I thought I'd start looking into the Somner situation.
One moment. Lauren pulls out her notebook, writes a note, and puts it under a cup. That tells Lucky we're looking for her and we'll be back soon.
I can... Zasha will sit down, pull the large tome off of his back, and scribble a note in it, which Lucky hears immediately, since she has written her name in the in his Book of Radiance. That just says, Yop needs your assistance with travel. We are going to speak to Councilperson Copperlocks. Let us know when you return, please. Thank you.
In the minute of something really weird here, Zash, but I definitely will. Smash cut to what Krellick and Lucky are doing. What's going on, Sean?
Okay. In the wibbly wobbly time of you know when this is, because they spent a lot of time doing research, so their day is in the later on. I'm still ahead of time for them. I will as we exit out that place, and I'm walking back towards over the shark fin bridge with Lucky. I ask her,
how long does it take you to do that travel thing?
A little less than an hour.
And how accurate is you?
She narrows her eyes. I can go exactly where I want if I've been there before.
Even if it's moving?
Even if it's moving.
Well, then this one should be very easy for you, because you is very familiar with where I want to go.
She raises one eyebrow.
I ought to go see your mum.
You got it. Okay. You guys find a quieter place to sit, probably near the market, just so there's enough people around that it's not really noticeable when you are doing a very long ritual. And as the air around you begins to darken and the security of what is the closed and stable tavern in a storm begins to move and teleport, take you to the captain's quarters of the Decoy, the illustrious vessel with the all-female crew, all specially chosen sailors designated by Bernadette Crowell. As the walls melt away, you see that there is the bright afternoon sun reflected over the ocean through the windows over the stern. And Lucky immediately begins kind of looking around, as it's been a little while since she's been here. Just kind of taking in the familiarity and the passingly unfamiliar. And she says, "All right, I'm gonna go find her before she finds you and kills you. Okay?"
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. She pats you on the arm and walks out. And there is quite the illustrious shouting coming from the main deck, and sharp whistles that you recognize as bosun call. And the floor under you has the familiar and soothing rock of deep waves pushing and forcing the vessel the way that the ocean plans to take it.
I take a few moments to like close my eyes and just like settle into the motion and smell the salty air, and because it's just been a little while now since I've been deep into the ocean.
Mm-hmm. And after a few minutes of what appears to be raucous celebration, there is some silence, or at least comparative silence. The creaking of the wood and the sound of wind through light open seams, and then suddenly the door is thrown open, and Captain Krall, the imposing figure that she cuts, a middle-aged woman with long graying hair and weathered skin, scarred, and a sharp eye, armed readily and in a heavy leather coat, strides through with sharp, deliberate footsteps. "What are you doing here, boy?"
Well, I thought I'd just go see an old friend.
And a peculiar way of doing it, too. You're
Well,
lucky you had Lucky with you. As always.
It is very true. I've been watching her back, taking care of her.
You'd better be.
Look, I'd love to spend the time to catch up, but I'm kind of in the middle of something, and I thought maybe you'd appreciate it if I just cut to the chase.
You're absolutely right, boy.
What you know about Captain Zendros?
The Infernal Woman.
That's the one.
I've traded with her before. She's sharp, dangerous, but no one who ever sets foot on Monmurg would ever make it if they weren't.
Yeah. You ever bought any of her magic trinkets?
Certainly, on occasion.
You got any of them on you right now?
She thinks for a moment, and then reaches up under the turban wrappings that keep part of her hair up, and finds a hairpin that she withdraws and holds to you.
Is Lucky like in,
She is
in
with
the
you,
room?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look to Lucky and say, "You mind sitting dead on the other side of the boat?"
Sure. And she grabs it and actually calls for someone on deck to fetch it from her hand.
I wait till it leaves our space, and I look to the captain and say,
Yeah, found out an interesting thing about old Captain Zenny. You see, we bought a few things off her recently, a long time ago actually, and come to find out that she uses some kind of magic to spy on you while you got it.
Her heavy brow folds. What do you mean?
Well, look, I know the hat may make it seem like I'm a powerful mage, and I was working on it, but you know, me friends, they's doing the magic work, and they's found out that she put some kind of like spell or curse or something on it. It just kind of lets her, I don't know, look at you whilst you're wearing it.
It reads your thoughts. And Captain Crowell, you hear a growl in the back of her throat.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking, you know, maybe in light of this information, maybe you and I, we got something in common.
You have my attention for now.
I got two ideas. One is, she's due for a shipment of goods, coming in by boat into Saltmarsh, maybe in the next few days. And I know about maybe the route that they's taking, and I can give you the marking of the boat. I was thinking that maybe, if you's interested, maybe we can stop it before it gets in. And if you's interested, or if you don't like that idea, my second is, would you want to kill her?
You presented two ideas to me, Karlek, but I think they're, in fact, one and the same.
Yeah, me too. Now, me friends is all involved in all this, and they don't know that I was here right now. I'm mainly coming to just see what level of interest you may have, and if we might be able to count on you if we choose to move forward in this endeavor.
I've already made my decision, Karlek.
Okay, well, what you want to do?
Tell me this vessel.
I forget the name of it, but I will tell her the name of the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will speak the words for Peek and See and create the symbol of it on like a piece of paper or something nearby.
Mm-hmm. And what is the route it's taking?
I give her the rough route that old Pickering gave us.
I figure, you know, you probably know these waters better than anyone.
I figure if she's waiting for a shipment, it'll be very easy to take a vessel, board it, man it, take it to Saltmarsh, and find her there.
Yeah, I was thinking, right, we get the boat, we bring it in like you saying, she comes into the dock, right, she don't let no dock hands run her cargo, right, it's just her people, maybe she's there, maybe she's not. But either way, we can take out more of her crew. They's all nasty little people. So I don't think anyone's gonna go missing them. We set an ambush.
That ugly hat of yours seems to be working.
I think it was rather nice, actually. I paid good money for this. Well, you know how fast your boat goes. When do you think that you might be able to intercept?
Tomorrow.
That is fast. Okay. I was gonna have to talk to me mates. Would you, as captain of your vessel, obviously, I was asking your permission, would you mind if maybe my friends and I came aboard to take part in this?
I would mind.
Well, I kind of want to be there. You know, I'm invested into this.
Then be there. But not here.
You want us to meet you at the dock then?
Cut him off. They won't be able to retreat.
I look to Lucky and say, I'll put our sailor minds together.
You think that we can get the turtle shell out this way fast enough to maybe catch this boat?
She sort of has a stern expression, and her arms are crossed, not terribly unlike when you had met her in the ruins of the Abbey, where she didn't really look at you, but just was staring at the captain. No.
Okay. Then we's gonna meet you at the docks. Oh, this feels like old times.
Sure does. She turns back, pinches Lucky's cheek, and walks out onto the deck. And without a word, Lucky begins setting up the ritual to send you back.
Yeah, sure thing. I just kind of settle into where we are, and we're in the captain's quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't fuck with their shit, but I just kind of like look at it.
Yeah, you see what is clearly like the majority of the space is evidently hers. It is not very. It's not immaculately clean. There's several clothes that are just kind of tossed around, and some things that are just left out. There's a corner of the room that is kept with a smaller cot that is perfectly well made, a sea chest that is locked at the foot of its bed. You recognize that instantly as Lucky's, but she does not go anywhere near that. She simply finishes the ritual. And takes you back to Saltmarsh.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. I'll once we're back in Saltmarsh, I will look to Lucky and say,
Well, honestly, I thought maybe she'd him and her about it, but she seemed like right pissed.
Yep.
Yeah.
She is not making eye contact with you.
Okay, well,
I look around. What time of day is it about?
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Okay.
Okay. Well, we better get back to the casino in case they come looking. Gotta keep up, appearances.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna tell him. He's a good plan, I think. Right? Catch him by ambush.
Sure. It's a great idea.
Yeah. Don't need no headband.
Mm-hmm.
Head to casino.
Yeah. And everyone else headed to the council hall, right?
Yep.
All right, and to speak with Copperlocks, who is in today. Hey there, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Councilperson Copperlocks. I was hoping to speak with you about the situation with former Councilperson Anders Solmner.
Oh. Yeah, what do you need?
I'm hoping you can just fill us in a little bit. We were in the Fae when this all transpired, and so I'm trying to understand when we saw Solmner last, there didn't seem to be anything wrong.
Oh, there's something that runs in the family. Something about weak lungs. It's actually why many of the Solmners, from what I hear, at least what he rambled about, it's why they actually moved to the area. Fresh air, I guess. She kind of rolls her eyes.
And did you see Solmner get sick at all? Is this...
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, he's been drinking potions, elixirs for months. Months.
Really?
Do you know
You
where
guys,
he got
you guys
these
actually
potions
know
and
this. You've
elixirs?
seen that. I don't know if you guys remember that, but you've seen that. I don't know, probably Kelladek. That guy in the tower.
As I recall, that is the exact same thing that took Solmner's mother, Petra. And there's no one else in town that was sick, just Anders?
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, my people are a little bit harder to kill by just that sort of illness.
What will happen to the seat on the council?
Well, it's already been filled. The new plaque's not up yet, but the crown appointed some guy. Wave Chase or something.
Aaron.
Yeah, Scarin. We haven't had a lot of council meetings lately, but met him a couple of times. He's fine.
I see. That... We should... Yop, you are, of course, familiar with our...
I'm quite familiar with Mr. Wave Chaser.
Lauren, I don't know that you were with us at the time, and Councilperson Copperlocks, I don't know if you are aware. We certainly told some of the other, or at least one of the other council members. Do we still have that note, yeah, that was given to us by Wave
That
Chaser?
is an excellent question. Let me see.
If not, I heard the recording. I'm sure you could get one from Acquisitions Incorporated to be played if needed, right?
That's a very good point. Yes, we could.
Excellent point. Well, not to put too fine a point on it, but we have been informed that he is a member of the Scarlet Brotherhood. And when we began investigating that fact, he posted a note on our lighthouse informing us that he would kill Anders if we continued our investigation.
She looks incredulous.
We have been investigating the Scarlet Brotherhood since almost our first day opening the franchise here. They have a certain reputation as I dislike the phrase agents of chaos, but that is largely what it fundamentally comes down to. They, and correct me if I'm misremembering something here, Yop, they believe that they have ties to some older civilization that was here and seek to bring about its return. Does that sound... It's been a while since I've put thought to the Brotherhood.
Yes, I do believe that's correct. Let me see. I believe that's correct.
The point is, there is almost certainly some sort of, not to sound dramatic, but some sort of nefarious plot that has taken place here. It's known to us that they have some sort of tie to one of the dukes in Seaton. Merrick, I think his name is. I gotta start putting all my notes in one place or the other so I don't have to keep going back and forth.
Merrick was the one who appointed him, but that's because he's acting Duke right now after his brother passed.
Were we aware of that? Because he was already the Duke.
Yeah, this is the same.
Okay.
She's speaking of the same history.
Okay.
While the king is... She waves her hand dismissively.
Yeah.
I don't suppose any of the potions that Anders was drinking for his illness is still lying around.
I mean, not here. If anywhere, at his family estate, but I mean, I guess that place is going to be going up for auction in not too long.
Yes. I was about to ask. I didn't think he had any heirs. And he was the last member, so...
I mean, if there's anything there, anything valuable's probably gone already, sold or whatever. I don't know if checking that out's gonna turn anything up.
No, I think there are a couple places that we should check first. We should speak to some of the other council members. This is...
Concerning?
To put it lightly, yes. That the Brotherhood has made this move by taking out Somner of all people, who was already was on decent terms with Wave Chaser, it sort of makes me wonder if they are making their move, starting something up. What, we still don't really know, but it seems we should be focusing our efforts here for the time being, here in Saltmarsh. We can okay. There are a couple of people to speak to still. Thank you, Councilperson Copperlocks. It has been enlightening.
I know you mentioned that you haven't had any or many council meetings, but has Scaran Wave Chaser discussed any business with you?
Not personally, not really.
So, no idea what he's interested in or which direction he'd like to move the council in?
Well, from what I'm gathering as his place of appointment, I think he's with me and the other loyalists on most matters.
And who are the other loyalists again? I know
Eleander.
Water is... Okay. Is it
Eleander and Manistrad were the two definitive loyalists on council.
So that's shift the balance of power right there.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be 3 traditionalists, now there's 3 loyalists.
Anders never actually was very clear.
Well, it's shifted at least to majority loyalist.
Mm-hmm.
Question, Sarah. What would I know about tuberculosis or consumption as a disease? Like, is there a cure for it in this universe yet? Is it common? Should I do like a medicine check for that?
I mean, like, clerical magic that is, like, curing of disease, paladins would be capable of doing such. But there are natural remedies as well.
I feel like that's a little suspicious. I'll probably whisper this to Yop and Zashel. That this is something that, say, someone with magical abilities could cure. And Anders, being who he is, should be able to afford that without having to take traditional remedies that takes a long time to resolve.
At the very least, the priests at the Temple of Procon should have been able to.
I think they definitely should have, and I think probably should have been able to afford it. Do you know anything about the person who made the potions? The name sounds familiar, but
Helidek, yes. He had some business. He was an instructor for Reed Lowe, also known as Sanballat.
And Talawick.
And
wasn't he the guy that tied up Abernathy?
Yes.
And Missy?
Yes, that's him.
You don't think he... And she kind of makes like the throat-slitting motion. You know, with the potions,
It is possible, but Kelidek had no direct ties to the Brotherhood, although I suppose he is generally available for hire, for purchase. I know he's no real loyalty to anything other than his own devices, so it is entirely possible. I don't see how we would prove any of that at the moment, unless we can. Well, I suppose it doesn't hurt. There is one other person that we should definitely contact. Yop, I'm sure by now that Kiara has heard. No, not Kiara. That's the wrong name. That's our former franchise member, and I meant. No, I had it right. Kiara.
It's
okay.
Kiara, spelled differently. Yeah.
Yep, same name, same pronunciation, different spelling.
Mm-hmm.
Kiara and Anders were close. If we suspect this is foul play, I think Kiara should be informed, and our best method of doing that would be. Liru has been in contact with Kiara through dreams. That would make it considerably harder for anyone to trace the communication. A letter might be intercepted.
I suppose so, but I do not envy being on the receiving end of that dream.
Oh,
I don't understand what you mean.
do you?
I mean, hell of a way to be informed that your friend is dead.
It's been months. I'm assuming Kiara knows that Anders is gone. I meant the
hell of a way. Right, hell of a way to find out your friend has been murdered.
Fair point. I expect, given Kiara's past with Acquisitions Incorporated, that she will understand the need for.
Very true.
As Yop and Zash was talking about this, I think Lauren's gonna turn around and head back to Menestrad's office and ask her a question.
Yeah, what do you want?
Sorry, I forgot to ask. Has Anders been buried yet?
His family has a crypt at the cemetery.
Ah, okay, so he's there. I mean, his body's there. Thank you. To drop off flowers and stuff. Bye. And she kind of closes the door and retreats.
Why did I think he had been cremated? Oh well. I just assumed he had been cremated, I guess.
That's wild, actually. That's a weird thing to have assumed.
Don't know where I got that.
Hey, so, I can't do this today, but do you think it would help if I, tried speaking to him? Assuming his, skull is still intact and everything.
I suppose it's worth a try. I don't think. Yes.
I mean, I don't know how you feel, if it feels like desiccating his grave if we did that, or, just didn't want to cross that line, but this feels kind of like a murder investigation.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is now. Scaran Wave Chaser was sort of, if I recall correctly, somewhat of a no one. He was an assistant to Petra and to Anders Solmners. He wouldn't have any standing to suddenly become a council person.
He still would have been. He wasn't. He was nobility. He just wasn't. As significant as everyone else. He was Anders' godfather.
Got it. I didn't realize he was nobility at all.
Yeah, he was like a worker in the household and all, but it was that. Yeah, not a servant.
It's like nobility, but not
I
high
thought he was-
nobility. So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair though. That's a clarification that I certainly have not made before.
I think I vaguely remember the Godfather thing, but I figured like, you don't have to be noble to be that. You can just be good family friends to get that
Yeah.
position. So yeah.
If you remember this, actually, we also saw Scarin Wave Chaser leaving Zolik's place of residence.
Yeah, that's bad.
Which is just to say, not a good individual.
No, he definitely is not.
Should we talk to the person you told about the, bad note you guys received? See if they have any insight? You said you told someone about the note, right?
Yes. That's where I was going to go next.
Right. Sorry, just getting ahead of myself.
No, you're fine.
I love a good mystery. Read quite a few of them. This is exciting. I mean, it's very sad, but yeah, this is exciting.
We should go speak to council person Oland.
You can find Etta for sure. It's occurring to me now that I don't think Noel has met any of these people. Is that correct?
Nope.
Okay. So previously, Manistrad is very obviously a rough worker, like industrial person. She's wearing like work clothes. She's a dwarf with strawberry blonde hair and a beard. Yeah, that's not hard to figure out. Etta is a much more wiry, thin, a human woman who has the years and years of her experience as a sailor very apparent in her appearance.
Gotcha.
Good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon. If we can have a moment of your time, we would like to speak about former councilperson Solmner.
Proceed.
We are concerned that given the manner of his death and the replacement that was the replacement for his seat upon the council, that there is very likely to have been foul play involved. You are, of course, aware of the existing enmity between our franchise and now council person Wave Chaser. And you are aware of the threats that were made against Anders.
I recall.
Is there anything that you can think of? Is there anything that stands out to you as suspicious about the manner of Anders' death?
Unfortunately, no. Just that, I was anticipating that it might happen eventually. After all, his mother passed similarly, although I did not, I did not speak out of, my position here, should I lose it, there is already little that holds the interests of the working folk. Few people on the council still have their best interests at heart.
I'm aware that with the loss of Councilperson Somner and the shift to Councilperson Wave Chaser, that there has been a dramatic shift in ideals upon the council. While Somner was not explicitly or specifically a traditionalist, he was, at the very least, tied to this place more than anything else.
Correct.
How have things been with our old friend on the hill?
Quiet. Tommen will report nothing. Silence.
Yes. Silence. No visitors whatsoever. Just nice and quiet.
We know that there is some... Well, we know at the very least that Wave Chaser has been to that place before. And while I would hope that he is not foolish enough to make any sort of deal or to release that thing, I suppose I will put more hope that the barrier will continue to hold, but I believe that if Wave Chaser is on the council now, that they have begun some sort of plan. That there was a need to replace Somner to ensure that the votes would go as they need. Is there anything you can think of in the upcoming docket, schedule, itinerary, whatever term you might use, that
I'll look into it.
I appreciate that. Well, Lauren, yep. Is there anything you can think of that I'm missing?
No, I don't think so. Yeah?
Not at the moment.
Thank you, Councilperson Oland. We will let you return to your work. If there is anything we can do, please do not hesitate to call upon us.
She nods. Okay. I'm going to put you all back together for a minute. Reconvene while you have the opportunity to converse for a second before you continue on with whatever madcap adventure you wish to create following. So you wander back to the casino, all to see each other all once again.
When Lucky and I get back, I use Krellick's Crushing Claw to lift the mug up 30 feet away, and then set it like on top of. Do we have slot machines?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just set it on a slot machine, just like I keep putting it farther and farther away till it's like way out there, just sitting on top somewhere.
We have been speaking to a few of the council people about the death of Anders Somner. The new council person is familiar to us, Scaran Wavechaser, the individual who threatened Somner and, well, stole our first sign, almost certainly, but is also a member, if not the leader, correct me if I'm wrong there, Yop, of the Scarlet Brotherhood here in Saltmarsh.
I think we're pretty sure he's not the leader, but he's also not an underling. Sort of middle management of Scarlet Brotherhood is the best we could figure.
Okay.
Well, I remember you saying that you went around and knocked a bunch of their heads around, drove them out of the grove or whatever.
Well, we tried to get as much information on them as we could, but quite frankly, the situation with the lizard folk and the Sahagin came up, as well as the issues with Ashkerzalia, and quite frankly, those seemed more pressing than dealing with the remnants of the Scarlet Brotherhood.
We were sort of in a standoff with Wavechaser where we couldn't investigate too closely because we couldn't risk the danger to Anders. However, it seems that whatever truce has since evaporated. Either they thought we were not coming back, or something has moved their... something has forced their hand, forced them to move ahead with their plan, even with us here. I am happy to believe that it is the first one. However, I think we almost certainly do not have the luxury of believing that.
Hey, so won't we just go, like, knock them around?
Because Scaran Wavechaser is now on the council here in Saltmarsh, which makes him a government official with certain protections. He was placed here by the Duke of Seaton, Duke Merrick of Seaton, who we know has ties to the Brotherhood and who had, well, designs on... I believe he has designs on Seaton, on not just Seaton, but all of Kioland.
Okay, well, you know, accidents happen all the time.
Speaking of accidents, Kralik, do you want to talk about the accident that you intend to let happen to Zendros?
Oh, you guys, I had such a day, right? I was very productive.
Talk to a rat for like an hour.
Yeah, I talked to a rat, Bethany. Hey, do you guys know there's like a rat king that comes into Saltmarsh every now and then?
The one that's spying on you.
Whatever glass Yop is holding, she just shatters in her hand.
You okay?
Go ahead, Kralik. I'm fine.
Okay, yeah, Bethany's my rat friend. She said that there's like a rat king that comes into Saltmarsh every now and then. But you know, that's about it.
The Rat King is an archfey.
Lucky kicks you sharply.
Well, that's what she said. She said he comes in every now and then he comes into like our cellar or something. I don't know.
The other thing, Kralik. Why'd you meet Bethany?
Oh, I met Bethany to spy on Zendros.
Okay.
And?
Wait.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I realize this is important, Lucky, but I need you to back up just for a second. Krellick, did you say the Rat King himself comes into our cellar?
I don't know. Bethany seemed like she said that he's met him. You know, she's met him a few times, and like she said that he comes around sort of more. So I mean, I thought maybe she said he comes into the cellar. Maybe he don't look. I don't know. Okay, she was very hungry and very nice, and I asked her if she would do me a favor and spy on Zenny.
Lauren gives Yop an extremely worried look. Yop,
Lucky,
I
Lucky,
think we should go get that thing for you.
Lucky, if you don't mind, we don't have time to play 20 questions with Krellick. It's a lovely game, but we simply don't have time. You clearly know what he's done. Can you please just tell us?
She huffs and blows her hair back and says, Krellick asked my mom to come to Saltmarsh to kill Zendros.
That is convenient.
Immediately, Vicaris' eyes open wide.
I'm sorry. I thought that you just said that a member of Acquisitions Incorporated Lighthouse franchise invited a notorious pirate to sail into Saltmarsh to kill an established merchant here who potentially has all sorts of powerful magic items in their possession, which would almost certainly end up in the hands of said pirate.
Well, I mean, maybe. Well, she's definitely gonna get the shit on the boat.
Oh, yeah, a shipment that's going to be coming in to Zendros' shop. Yeah, they're going to take that first. And
Yeah.
then they're going to come into dock. And then kill her. And they are expecting us to be on the other side of them so that they cannot get away. You know, on the side where guards are inevitably going to be showing up.
Like an ambush.
Yeah, like an ambush.
An ambush in town.
Yes.
But at night,
Okay,
in the dark, obviously.
Obviously, Krellick, yes. Let me ask you another question, though. Are you no longer concerned about getting back what you've lost? Isn't it possible that you need Captain Zendros' assistance for that? And if so, how do you plan on getting it if you're having her killed?
Look, I don't need a big, smart headband to do the math on this one, okay? We all see it. The moment we found out what was happening, she was dead. Well, she knows everything about all of us. Whatever you think you've been secreting away, she knows it all. And look, what? So what? We do a job for her, right? Pay her 5,000 gold just to talk to the Batman, and so one of yous can give up something that you love. She ain't gonna help us. And I ain't letting none of yous give up something that you love like I did. And technically, I just asked Captain Crow for help. I told her what she did, Zanny, what she did with her items and all that. And turns out Crow had an item that Zanny probably messed with. And she was pissed like I thought she would. I mean, she had the same idea I had, which was hijack the shipment at sea and then bring it into the harbor and then ambush Zanny. I mean, she ain't never gonna see that coming.
I mean, I don't like.
Unless literally anyone else on that pirate vessel is using one of her items.
Well, maybe. I mean, I told her what was what. I mean, I think she's smart enough to know what to do.
I do not even know where to begin with the paperwork.
That's another thing. Once we file the paperwork, I mean, I hate to admit this, but how do we know Acquisitions wouldn't send someone to get rid of Zendros anyways? Because, you know, they got rid of threats before.
I mean, I actually thought about hiring, or, you know, I was gonna go to head office if Crow wasn't interested, right? But once she found out that Zenny crossed her, I mean, she was pissed. You know, actually, I was thinking, right, I mean, this is a great opportunity. You know? Yeah. Is it going to be crazy and dangerous? Who knows?
It's going to be illegal, Kralik. You are asking us within the walls of Saltmarsh to break the law, to kill someone who lives and works here, to join forces with a pirate, which are...
Which is
what?
what?
Princes are a sworn enemy of Keoland, where we are, which we have thus far managed to not have to take sides in that conflict at all. What do you think is the outcome of this? How do you see this unraveling? Okay, we go through with your plan. We join forces with Bernadette Crowell, one of the most wanted pirates in this area. We kill Captain Zendros, a priest of a Cambion who, don't forget, lives on this plane. What then? What do we do when the guards show up? Because they will. What do we do when the Navy shows up? Because there are pirates in the waters of Saltmarsh. How do you see this ending?
There's pirates in this very town right now.
I am aware of that.
You's
Kralik. I'm
to
speaking
one.
to one. Yes, I know that.
The Navy. You think they're gonna come all the way out to shithole
Or
Saltmarsh?
Bernadette Crowell? Yes.
Come on, how's they even gonna know?
Because Bernadette Crowell's ship will sail into this town.
No. They's gonna hijack Captain Zenny's ship, and her ship is gonna sail into town.
And where is this hijacking taking place?
I don't know, someplace out, and I insert name where it might be.
Right.
Look, she knows the waters better than anyone else. Alright, we hit Zenny where it hurts her, right? Look, if she's got the blessing of Sandria, she ain't scared of fucking nothing. Alright, nothing. She ain't running nowhere, 'cause ain't nothing she's afraid of no more.
There is a difference between not being afraid of something and blindly ignoring danger.
Well, it's a good idea, right? Her ship comes in, she's expecting it. It comes in at night. Look, I already did the legwork here, alright? I found out the name of the ship, where it's coming, where it's going, that it comes in at night. Only her people are the ones that's gonna be there, right? They keep it all hush-hush. You think there ain't no smuggling goes on in this town?
More smuggling goes on in this town.
Yeah,
We've been
you
into
think the
multiple
guards
smuggling
just-
dens.
Yeah, you think the guards are gonna be coming in while all this shit's going in?
Yes, I expect they'll be coming in to get their cut. Because that's how it works here.
Well, you know what's a good thing about that? We just pay them better.
Lucky hops off the bar and leaves the room.
Yop's gonna go follow Lucky.
I'll follow Yop. I'm worried about this Rat King and Yop. I'm gonna follow Yop.
Nola's just standing, staring blankly, like off into space.
The other thing that I was thinking, right? So, this is all going down,
Generous.
right? That, Zed and all them, there's gonna be real distracted with all this shit going on, right? Which means that there's gonna be a lot less people at her shop, right? And when I was looking through Bethany's eyes as she was skirting around and being all stealthy like a rat, I seen and heard Zanny talking about her ledger. Always her ledger, right? I think she keeps what has or who has what thing where. I think it's all in there, right? So maybe some of us get into her place, steal it, or maybe we hire some locals to get in and steal it.
And just so I'm clear, you don't believe that the proprietor of a shop of magical items will have magical protection upon this very important ledger?
I mean, maybe. We've done truly insane things before. You's afraid of a book.
I am going to go to my room. I think. Yes.
I look at, I guess it's just me and Zashel there.
Vikaris is also there.
Vikaris is there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Noel slowly like shuffles off to like the teleporter. Just kind of like staring blankly, like hands kind of flexing as if they're writing something.
I look to Zashel and Vikaris and say,
Look, I didn't know the crowd was going to be moving so quickly on this, alright? I thought that I'd put the proposition to her, and then I'd, come back and tell you all that, hey, we've got an in, right? Here's what could happen. But, I mean, she's doing it, with or without us, right?
When?
Maybe tomorrow night.
So we have approximately 24 hours to Of course, everyone has walked away before I can call for a vote. We will have less than that.
Oh, everybody will be happy. I mean, I found an ally to help us with our problem. Alright, and yous all be running off. I mean, you didn't even seem that concerned with it all.
Not concerned. We have spent all day trying to make sure, well, I say we, Noel has spent the majority of his day making sure that the items that we have all purchased are as safe as they can be made.
That's good.
I took you to see Liru to see what could be done about this deal that you have already started making. This plan, the first plan that you put in motion, and we aren't bothered by this. It is mind-blowing. absolutely mind-boggling. Excellent.
What do you think, Vic?
You there, Doug?
Sure I am. Took me a second. Sorry.
You're fine.
Well, I'm sorry to say I'm with Zeshel on this one. Maybe not for the same reasons. I feel like we may have sent someone to die without actually discerning or learning her true motivations, but specifically, this wasn't a great plan, and none of us were involved. That's my thoughts on that.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I didn't think that all this would move as fast as it is, okay? I will admit, it got a little away from me, right? But I mean, like, what's I gonna do? Tell Captain Crow? No. Wait. You're right.
Do you understand the position that you have? Not even the franchise, the position you have put Lucky in right now. Right now, we have to decide whether we go along with this insane plan or whether we put a stop to it and Lucky is suddenly forced to be on the other side from her own mother.
Why would we stop this?
Why would we go through with it?
You think that what she's doing is all good? Well,
No.
She's been selling goods and spying on everyone in this town. Have you read any of the book that Punketta gave us?
Useful to us at this moment. We
What's
have a
useful
council
about
person
it?
who was assassinated. You don't think that somebody out there is using items procured from Captain Zendros? You don't think Captain Zendros might know something about this assassination?
What's the price she's going to sell it to you at? Hmm?
Do you think I care right now? Our council person Anders was as close as a friend that we had in this town. He was assassinated.
Don't you want
They
revenge?
have instead put Scarin Wave Chaser in his seat, shifting the balance of power in this town. And yes, am I upset? Does it bother me that Zendros has been selling items with which to spy on people? Sure, it's a breach of contract at the very least.
Yeah, she worships it. Everyone in that entire place, they worship a big bat devil thing, right?
There's a temple to Procon on top of the hill.
Yeah, well, they ain't exactly doing what she's doing, is it?
You do understand they do worse, right? You do understand that you pray to Procon so he doesn't kill you. That's called extortion. Like,
Well,
that's...
to be honest, I don't really know too much about him. I just say the words, you know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Look, Zany. Look, Vic, I know that you kind of sweet on her, right? I seen the way you's looking at each other, right? But, you know, she's probably just using you the way she's using everyone. You know, I seen the way she talks when ain't no one around, right? I watched her through Bethany's eyes, right? She ain't nice, all right? And the locals around this place, they don't like her neither. She ain't no good. And this place would be better without her. Now, you all do not have to be involved, okay? But I gotta do this.
I expect Bernadette will expect Lucky to be involved as well, since she was there.
I mean, she didn't say anything.
And you think that will matter?
What would it matter? It's Lucky's mum.
Yes. You don't think she'll expect her daughter to fight with her again.
I mean, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I don't know, okay? They didn't say nothing. Would it make you feel better if I hired acquisitions for this? Would that make it legal for you?
It would not make it legal for us. It would not. Having a contract does not make it legal.
Oh, so suddenly, just because we got contracts now, it's not legal. So all the work we've been doing has been piracy again, is that it? We've paid mercenaries, Zeshel. I keep telling you.
I write the contracts, or I did for a time. Do you think I don't understand that? I understand where our work comes down on the scale of legality as well. That was my job. That is why I can stand here in front of you and tell you this is not legal. Having a contract for this would not be legal. It would the contract does not make murder suddenly legal. We operate, I fully agree with you, in a very nebulous gray area. This, what you are proposing, is not in that area.
We murdered Granny Notshade, didn't we?
Yes. Did you see legal jurisdictions issues in the Feywild? We were given authority, not just authority and assistance of the person in charge of the area. Do you see how that's different from what is about to happen here? These are the things, Krellick, that Noel and I take care of. I don't. It's a mess. It's convoluted. I fully agree, and I do not. I understand why it is not something that everyone thinks about. Okay, I think it's best we have time. You said we can break for a bit. It's best if we either discuss this with everyone, or at the very least put it to a vote to try and figure out where to go. You and I can speak at each other and to each other until the sun sets, but if we are to do this as a franchise, we must agree as a franchise.
I think that's fair. But you and I both know what needs doing.
I have to disagree with you, Krellick. I do not have the same reaction to the discovery of what Zendros was doing as you do. I don't agree with what she was doing. I've already said that. But it's not a capital offense in this place, as far as I'm aware. I could check the law. I could be wrong. Now, again, I don't have enough. I don't have a full understanding of the way this information has been utilized. And I
How
think
you think it's been used, Zeshel? Come on, get off
We've
it.
been here for how long, Krellick? How long have we been trading with Zendros? What's come of the information she would have gotten from us since literally day 3 that Saltmarsh, that the Lighthouse franchise has been open? That was the first time we bought from her.
Yeah, well, we don't know. You're right about that. But someone who's doing all that, they ain't doing it for good. Right, selling it to the highest bidder, doing whatever her bat dad says.
On that, we agree. It is not being done for good.
I ain't so pissed that she's been spying. I was pissed at what she did. And I know that no matter what kind of thing I do or give her, it ain't gonna get back what was taken, not from her. She's just a messenger.
That is true. She can't give you back what was taken. For that, we need Aya's. Of course, partaking in the murder of one of Aya's priests might make it even harder to do that.
Yeah, well, he can come get it. Or maybe I'll go to him. Look, I just want you to know, whichever way the vote goes, I was gonna be on that dock.
We'll see what the franchise wants to do. There is always well, we'll see. I need to have a message delivered to the Shadowbreaker.
Hey, you think someone should...
I point over the way to where the cup, the mug, and the wand is.
What's we gonna do about that? I'll just, like, put it there, a while back, but, like, it can't just stay there.
I guess give it to Vicaris, have him put it in the vault for now. That will ensure that no one is spied upon by that object.
Sorry, Vic. Here's a good gift.
Anything that needs to be said or done before we close?